Good evening. I will now call the November 18, 2025 Bermuda Run Town Council meeting to order. As a reminder for everyone, please remember to silence your phone as he checks his own phone. Recognize we have a quorum tonight. Council member Guthrie is not here, somewhere in flight returning home, but air travel challenges will plague us all at points in time. So we do have 4 attending tonight. Join me if you can for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. It is the intent of the Town Council to make solemn the proceedings of this meeting and the business brought before the governing board, to offer the opportunity for a reflective moment of silence. Please join me in a moment of silence. Thank you. Item number 4, Town of Bermuda Run Code of Ethics Statement. Mr. Williams.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good evening, Council. Pursuant to North Carolina General Statutes 160A86 and 160D 109 and the Town of Bermuda Run Code of Ethics Policy adopted November 9, 2010, and further endorsed on August 9, 2022, I would ask each of you before you adopt the agenda if there's any actual, potential, or perceived conflicts of interest with respect to any matter on the proposed agenda which will come before the Town Council for a vote at this meeting tonight. If so, please speak up and let the Council know at this time before the agenda is adopted. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Williams. Item number 5, the adoption of the agenda. Council's had an opportunity to review the agenda. Are there revisions, or do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? If not, with a show of hands, those in favor? 4-0. Thank you, Council. Item number 6, approval of the October 14th, 2025 Town Council meeting minutes. Council's had an opportunity to review the minutes. Are there any revisions, or do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, with a show of hands, those in favor? 4-0. Thank you, Council. In most of our town council meetings, I work to have various county or state agencies as well as local nonprofits come and speak. Last month we had the Davie Community Foundation. Month before that we had Moxville's Women's Club. This month we have representatives from the Davie Women's Auxiliary, co-chairs Ms. Sue Whitaker and Ms. Linda Ernst, who will talk to us about the organization. As they come forward, although the council is welcome to ask questions, we do not take questions from the audience, as that's our protocol for town council meetings. With that, ladies, I invite you to come forward.
Mr. Mayor, Town Council, Andrew and Brian, Charlie and Cindy, thank you all so much for having us today. We are thrilled to be able to come before you and tell you about the newest Women's Auxiliary in Davie County and what we've been doing and what we hope to do.
Thank you. We're so happy to be here this evening, Linda and I. Happy for you to get to know us because we have a very, I think, interesting story to tell as the Davie Women's Auxiliary. We're a very new organization, so I want to give you just a quick update because we were founded just about a year and a half ago. And we started out just 2 friends who had a very burning idea. Linda and I had done some volunteer work together over several years, and she and I just were very aware that we had people in our community that were really hurting and really had a lot of needs. And we were also aware that there were a lot of other nonprofit organizations that were struggling hard to try to help meet those needs. So she and I decided, you know what, we've got to do something. Maybe there are some other women who feel as we do. We want to make our community a better place. So we got some friends together, and we decided the first thing we needed to do is figure out what do we want to do. And we just decided to develop a mission statement, which is what you see before you. So who are we? We're a volunteer organization that promotes fellowship among women and supports charitable efforts and organizations within our community. Right now, you will see, well, you'll see before you this picture, which is a picture of us when we had our first annual meeting. That was just about a year ago in October. At the end of September of 2024, we had 20 dues-paying members, and today I'm proud to tell you that we have 52 members, and we're still growing. So what else guides us besides our mission statement? Our mission statement really guides us, but what else guides us? Well, we realized early on that we really needed to have some bylaws, so we established some bylaws. And then we learned that we needed to become a non-profit corporation in the state of North Carolina. And gosh, we decided, yeah, for sure, we needed to have some dues. So we told our members we're going to charge dues of $75 a year. And those dues actually stay right here in the community. We don't owe any obligation to a state or national organization. Everything that we collect stays right here in Davie County. And then finally, we were aware that we needed to have our own 501c3 tax exempt status. So we applied for that, and we were proud, very proud, actually, to receive that status in December of last year.
So I would like to introduce our board of directors and officers. Our co-chairman, I'm going to start on the left, on the right, and move to the left. That's Shorty there, and that's Sue. And then we have Gay Orsini. She is our newly elected vice chair. And then there's me. And then there's Jenny Brannon, who is our secretary. And we have finally our treasurer, Sally Liner. There's a quote that I came across that says, "As women, we are only as strong as the coffee we drink and the girlfriends that we've been blessed with." Well, I am amazed at the girlfriends that we have in DWA and the amount of gifts that each woman brings to our group and how she's able to share it so that none of us feel, you know, the old saying, many hands make light work, and that's true. So our premier partner is Habitat for Humanity, Davie County. Our partnership with Davie Women's Auxiliary, this was a quote by Jessie Folger, who is the executive director at Habitat. We were thrilled that she thought so much of us that she made this quote. "Our partnership with Davie Women's Auxiliary is simply invaluable. The traction that we've made as an organization would not be possible without the support and tireless effort of these ladies who have united together with one common goal in mind, to make our community better today than it was yesterday, and to engage in fun and fellowship along the way." So she says that Habitat's partnership with DWA is simply invaluable. Well, I got to tell you that that goes both ways. Habitat has just been a valuable friend to us. From the beginning, they gave us a meeting space when we quickly outgrew the living rooms of each other. They've given us space for our board meetings. We meet every month, and many times more than that over at the Restore. There's a spot there for a board meeting. They have allowed us to have after-hours meetings there at the store, which is they close at 5 o'clock, so somebody's got to be there with us during our meetings, and there we are. And number 4, they have allowed us to use the Restore as a drop-off place for items that we collect for our partners. Right now, we're using the Restore as a food collection area for serving our neighbors and impact of the Piedmont.
So when we learned of an opportunity to do something special for Habitat, because we felt so proud that they, after having been closed for a few years in Moxville, they opened up again right here in Bermuda Run. As you know, they took over that large space at Bermuda Quay, and they really have been such a wonderful collaborative partner. So we had an opportunity to do something for them, and that was that Bermuda Run Country Club has an annual event called the Charity Classic Golf Tournament, and we decided that it was an opportune time for us to just see what we could do. And so we submitted an application to be a nonprofit that would be able to make some money for another organization. We submitted the winning application. We led in the sponsor recruitment. We were very thrilled that 54 private individuals and businesses became sponsors of the organization. We recruited hundreds, or not hundreds, dozens, it seemed like it, but dozens of volunteers.
We thought it was hundreds.
Yeah, right, exactly. Of volunteers who worked before and during that event to help the event become successful. We provided publicity and promotion, and we worked, some of our representatives worked with the leadership team, with Jessie, who is, you'll see Jessie's picture is on the far right. She's in the purple. She'd be here tonight, except she's home with a brand new baby, which is very exciting. Also, I'll point out Monica Belford, who is the first lady on the left in the turquoise shirt. She's a member of our group from Kinderton. And of course, there's Linda. In the middle person there is Jess, who is she was the first homeowner for just recently, within the last few years, of a home here built by Habitat Davy. So we're very, very proud to have had a significant leadership role. And I must say that we had high expectations. And oh my gosh, we even beat our own expectations. We were so thrilled. We earned a record-breaking $50,000, more than $50,000 for the Charity Classic Golf Tournament. We have, as I said, we had 54 sponsors, and one of our sponsors said it was an epic day. And if you were there that day, I bet you would agree. Happy, smiling faces everywhere, fun golf, and helpful, wonderful volunteers from DWA. Very proud.
And the gal, Shanoa, I want to point out
yes,
Shanoa. Shanoa there in the photograph on the left in the yellow, she was amazing too. She's one of our members, Shanoa Daniels. And she was amazing because she came in and gave us our goal. And I think she gave us $40,000, and she still she said, you rolled your eyes at me. And I did. I went, right, $40,000. I had no idea that we could pull together and pull that off, so.
Exactly. There's another familiar face on that picture over there.
Climbing up the ladder.
Exactly.
So who do we serve? One of the many people that we try to serve is serving our neighbors. And we found out about them. We didn't even know about them, but Jessie told us about them. And at the time, they were, let's see, well, what you need to know about that, Serving Our Neighbors is a mobile food pantry. And they set up on Thursdays in Coolamy and on Sundays in Moxville. They had a need for peanut butter because school was getting ready to be let out. And that's a good food item to send home with kids. So we asked our members to bring some peanut butter to the meeting that evening, and we collected enough peanut butter that would equate 116 ounces of peanut butter. So it went a long way. That told us right there that we had some serious ladies out here that wanted to make a difference in the community. If you'll look on the on the left, the Storehouse for Jesus. This was a day that we took the membership to Mocksville, and we spent the afternoon helping them. Well, first we had lunch and had fellowship together, and then we we took a tour, and then had the Storehouse to. We found out things that they needed too. And I just love the center picture there. That's Kathy Ring, and Kathy's with us today, smiling. Kathy and her friend Kay are members. They're from Kenderton. So we are thrilled to have them in our club and know that we have reached that far.
And we'd love to have more.
That's right.
We're working on it.
Good job.
And we know that you'll get that done. So, let's see, we got a tour and we worked there that day. And then, so then on the photograph on the right is a beautiful picture of Bermuda Village. We are so indebted to Carol Quinn. Carol, if you'd stand real quick. And I have to say something about Carol. Carol helped us with Bermuda Village for helping us secure a partnership there with them. They were invaluable to us by providing the means to host a fabulous fundraising dinner that first year for Habitat. They've allowed us to have some great meetings there, and they have also given us some pretty great members. So we really appreciate Bermuda Village. And last, well, no, it's not last. Not last, but there's a Pearls of Empowerment. I want to tell you about them. Gladys Scott, the gal on the left in the picture to the right. I have trouble with my left and right, can you tell? Anyway, she came to speak to our group during one of our meetings to tell us about Pearls. Pearls of Empowerment is a part of the Davy Foundation, and for $1 a day, which is $365, you can become a Pearl. So that money goes into a fund, and it generates income that where the Pearls can give grants that benefit women and children in our community. Our members that evening, after Gladys spoke to us, were overwhelmingly in favor of becoming a Pearl after that, after Gladys spoke to us. Incidentally, they just had their luncheon last week, and Habitat was a recipient of one of the grants. And if you remember in the picture, Jess, that we were telling you about, she was a recipient of one of the homes early on, I guess. Mm-hmm. She is a mother of 3 boys who they were experiencing domestic violence in their home. So the one reason that she didn't want to leave that was because she had no place to go. So Habitat provided a home that she could afford. So she goes and she actually speaks to people about what that means, not only to her, but to her boys, that they have a home, a place they can call home. We had a table of 10 at that luncheon, so we had quite a bit of support. That was a lot of fun. And then during one of our meetings, we went to Dragonfly House. They gave us meeting space at Dragonfly House. We were able to find out how they work, what goes on there, and see the beautiful facility there. We took them items for back to school that they had a wish list, so we took items to them bring to them so we could learn about them and have our meeting. And then in the bottom, it says impact of the Piedmont. That is an organization that we're going to be finding out more about tomorrow, because Julie Wood will come and speak to us about them. They are an organization that provides caring homes and programs that help adults with developmental, intellectual, and mental health challenges live with independence, dignity, and joy. And of course, our valued partner is the town of Bermuda Run, and we try to volunteer and be there for things that are going on in our town. We early on bought a paver for the Flag Plaza and for the Blue Heron Trail, and we volunteer for town events.
I'd love to invite you to come and join us. We're having a wonderful, actually our second annual Christmas benefit dinner to benefit Habitat Davy. It'll be on December 2nd, on Tuesday night, December 2nd, at Bermuda Village. I'd love to invite you to come, but I hate to tell you, we have about 2 seats left. So please see us very quickly if you'd like to come, and we'll see what we can do. It's a beautiful event. I see Gary Lamont is there, and Cheryl. There's Gary, who's on the Davie County Board of Elections. He's there, along with lots of others. There's Gloria Stanley back there. It's a beautiful event. The ticket price is $50. $25 goes to a fabulous meal that's prepared at Bermuda Village, and $25 is a tax-exempt donation to Habitat. This year, we also have wonderful silent auction items, and so we hope that you would join us. Please let us know. You can even comment just for the silent auction, which might be worth it in the long run, too, because it's really quite a lovely event. So I hope you don't mind if we brag a little bit, because we've only been around about 1.5 years, and we feel pretty proud of what we've done. We feel like our goal that was from the very beginning was to make a difference in the community. And, you know, I got to say, I do think that we achieved something special. We have, as I told you before, we have 52 members, and I understand we're going to have a couple more joining us tomorrow. There are 52 plus members who have raised their hands all the time to volunteer for our different organizations or do events or whatever's needed. They seem to step up. It's really just real special. They've developed creative ways to earn money for these organizations. They have donated services and items that will help meet the need, just like our food drive that's at the Restore right now. Just bring some canned food if you would like to help because things are kind of tough for folks out there. So at the Restore, you can drop off food from now until Saturday of this week. And so bottom line, we've donated more than $60,000 in this past year alone to the community. So we're pretty excited about that. This, you probably have seen in the recent issue of the Davie Enterprise. You've probably seen this picture and an article that was written by our member, Shanoa Daniel, who's a wonderful writer. She wrote an article about as we celebrated our first year anniversary. It was a fun night. We had a great time together, and so we're very proud of that article. But I do want you to think about us as we go forward. We know that we need to do some strategic planning. Everything that we've done has been very strategic. So in the next probably 6 months, we'll be doing some strategic planning, because we feel very strongly that we want to do whatever we can to make sure that our burning idea has a bright and sustainable future. We want to welcome guests to our meetings. We want to welcome new members. So if you know of anybody who's interested, please let us know, or tell them to contact us. Our contact information will be on the next slide. And one thing I want you to know, we're just getting started.
Very good, very good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions or comments?
One question for me. Number one, thank you for your leadership, and thank you for your members. But if you don't participate and you want to donate, is there an opportunity to donate outside of participation in the group? I mean, I'm sure there is, but how do you go about that?
Our treasurer, Sally Liner, would be very happy to receive your donation, and we would be thrilled.
She won't turn you away.
No.
Jeff, if you have your checkbook with you, you just get it out.
I'll give it to Mike, but Mike would take half.
I'll make sure that they get it.
Thank you for thinking of that.
Thank you.
That's very, not very thoughtful. Thank you.
Full disclosure, I'm a very proud member of DWA and very excited to see fellow members here today. And thank you, Sue and Linda. So a question I have is, how do you select the partners and organizations that you partner with?
You want me to do it?
Sure.
We look to see if they are struggling with basic needs first. And then if they are, then we look to see how we can help them. And we will contact them. Usually you can find a contact person and just say who we are. Would you like to come and speak to our group? And if so, let us know how we can help you.
So interested organizations can contact you at the emails there or find you on Facebook, et cetera.
Right.
That's true. And also, if I can interrupt, also Jessie Folger has been a wonderful help to us. She's provided introductions for us to other nonprofit organizations. She's a very collaborative person, and we've found Davie County to be very collaborative. So we learn about each other, and that's part of what we've been doing this year, is learning about other groups.
I can just tell you from personal experience, because I live with this lady.
The one on the left.
Yes, I feel like I live with both of them. They spend a tremendous amount of time working on this, an unbelievable amount of time. I see Linda at her desk all the time, and it's always with this that she's working on. So they got a real passion about it, and they've done unbelievable results at this stage of the game.
Got
that
unbelievable
early
ladies
on.
that
So,
help us, too.
Very proud of them, proud of their organization, what they're doing. Keep up the good work.
Thank you. It's been a joy,
It has.
hasn't it?
It has.
We've been blessed with 52 wonderful members and hope for more.
Well, thank you for your presentation. Thank you for your energy. It comes out that you as representatives here tonight, it speaks volumes not only to the two of you, but the organization more broadly. I will say to you that if there's anything the town can do, if there's anything I can do to help further this cause, by all means, please reach out. I'm humbled by this kind of organization, and we have several across the county, but
Yes, we do.
those of us who sit in the light and speak and what have you are humbled by this kind of work that happens each and every day, and the generosity, the energy, and the enthusiasm makes me, and I'm sure our town, proud that you're a part of this town and a part of this county. Thank you to you and to the organization. I wish you nothing but 53 going to 153.
Thank you so much.
And just
That means a
continuing
lot.
to grow.
It means a whole lot.
It really does.
Yeah,
It means a
thank you
lot.
very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you. Those of you who decided that this was the program that you wanted to now exit, you're welcome to do that. I encourage you to also stay as well. So the rest of it may not be quite as riveting, but I encourage you to stay if you'd like. Citizens' comments. Do we have anyone signed up? No.
No one's on it.
Okay. Okay, moving on. Action items. 9A, paving contract, Blythe Construction, Inc. Mr. Meadwell.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Before you tonight is the paving bids that the town received for its annual paving program. We received two bids, one from Blythe Construction, doing business as Haynes Construction, and Turner Asphalt. the town actually bid this project twice, as we did not receive the legal number of bids the first bid opening. So we had to rebid this a second time, and the bids came back with Blythe Construction coming in at $817,240.76 and Turner Asphalt at $1,074,898.56. After further discussion with the individuals at Blythe, we were able to negotiate that price down to $705,968.76. This is a previously funded amount in our budget. Now, it's slightly more than what we did have, but with our transportation budget kind of bucket, we're going to be able to kind of cobble together some of these funds to be able to do this. Now, this may necessitate a budget amendment sometime in the spring after we get through this winter with our, our winter program and things like that. But, it is important to note that this is the second year in a row that our bid prices have come in over what our estimates are. So I think this is probably a discussion that we'll continue to have as we do each year, as we go through our planning session and things like that, talking about kind of what our needs are and making that assessment of our streets and how we can do that. But what staff is asking you to do tonight is to go ahead and allow the town manager and town attorney to finalize the agreement with Blythe or Haynes Doing Business Construction to finalize that agreement with us. And this is our standard construction type contract that we've done multiple times with this same company as well as our other construction partners. So, included in your agenda packages is the contract highlights, the revised bid sheet, as well as what those paving maps are. So, we're trying to do at least 2 miles a year of paving each year, each paving cycle. So those maps are included in your packages too. So I'll entertain any questions that council may have for me.
Any questions for Mr. Meadwell?
Just one for me.
Yes, sir.
Once you sign it, when do they plan? Is this a winter activity, spring activity?
We're really in a tight spot. If the weather is able to hold out, typically the plant starts shutting down at the end of November.
Sure.
This is probably really looking like a spring type project. However, if we're able to be able to get them mobilized and do this. I think last year they were able to do the 2-point-some-odd miles of paving last year in about 3 weeks. Our ideal goal would be to do it this year, but if we have to wait till spring, nothing changes with the price. So they honor that all the way to the through the paving cycle, but the contract would allow them to wait till a spring paving cycle if need be. But the goal is, or anticipation, to try to get that this year if all possible.
Any other questions?
Can I make a motion?
You can.
I would like to make a motion that we accept this as presented and that we go forward with letting the town manager and the town attorney represent the town and putting this contract together and going forward with it.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Any further discussion? If none, show of hands. Those in favor? 4-0. Motion approved. Thank you, Council. Item 9B, 1209 Riverbend Stormwater Project Contract, Country Boy Landscaping. Mr. Meadwell.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is our second construction project that is on your agenda tonight. This is a stormwater project located at 1209 Riverbend Drive. If you recall from our previous discussions, there's a galvanized drain tile that is underneath Riverbend. That pipe is eroding away, has been there for some years now. This was probably identified to town staff probably a couple of years ago. This project is being funded through a funding or a grant that we received from the state of North Carolina for this specific type project. So the town received 3 bids for this project. Country Boy Landscaping at $156,804.78. Triangle Paving and Grading, $162,860.50, and BW Infrastructure at $276,102.40. Our engineers looked at the bid proposals and did recommend that Country Boy was and does appear to be the lowest responsive bidder. They are somewhat of a local company. They've done several projects here around in Davie County, as well as, for the Department of Transportation. So feel pretty confident in them being able to complete the work in a very timely manner. Again, as with our construction type contracts, this is a typical type contract. Staff is asking that you allow the town manager and town attorney to finalize this agreement and move forward with the project. So we're really hoping that we can get this project done this fiscal year. Will probably be a little bit of an inconvenience there on Riverbend Drive, as you can imagine. There will be a kind of a cut and open portion right there to get that existing drain tile out, but the necessary steps and protections are there for the motorists and anyone else walking or anything through there on Riverbend Drive. So I'll be glad to answer any questions that council may have.
Any question?
Just a quick question. There's such a significant spread between the low and high bid here, more than usual. Just wondering if there's any insight in terms of...
As to why? I think probably if you look at Country Boy, local, somewhat local, Triangle was out of Raleigh, and I think BW Infrastructure is out of Southern Virginia. So I would say that's probably...
So mostly overhead and just the cost of a larger company versus a small company?
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
From a location standpoint, those of you that are familiar with Bermuda Run East, this is the tile drain is essentially if you come off the number 1 green and you're coming down the hill toward the number 2 tee box, it's right there. And essentially, it's at the Anders house right there on Riverbend. So it's my hope that the town will have and the contractor will have, as Andrew pointed out, not only adequate signage, but I think the town making sure that we alert residents. It's a heavily traveled section of roadway in that subdivision, and make sure that folks are aware of that. Some folks may choose to make a left rather than a right just to avoid some of that area. Hopefully it'll be a relatively quick project, but it is a fairly well-traveled roadway, probably I would equate it to almost like a Bing Crosby in terms of volume of traffic. So, any other questions for Mr. Meadwell? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to allow town manager to approve Country Board contract.
Yes. Any further discussion? Hearing none, show of hands, those in favor. 4-0. Thank you, council. Unanimous. Moving on to item number 10, town manager comments. Does the town manager have any comments?
And I will be very brief, but I do have a few items just to just kind of brief you, council members. So the town will be sending out a call for new planning board members. As we'll see at our December organizational meeting, we have 2 members from our current planning board that will be joining the ranks of town council, which will create 2 open seats. However, we have Mr. Tom Brady, whose term is expiring this spring. So he will be another replacement for consideration for the council at that time. But, I think the other, we have other members whose terms end next year as well. So we're really hoping that we get a number of applicants. Some of these current members are available for reappointment. So we, myself and the chairman of the planning board are already inquiring as to, hey, is this something that you want to continue to do? So I've heard feedback from a couple of different people, but you know, we've got some time for those reappointments, but we definitely do need to fill both Dylan and Marty's seats as soon as possible. So, secondly, we're still making some headway with our contracts for gate operations. We're meticulously going through that contract. As I've noted to council, we're in continuous conversation with the vendor, questions back and forth. I think to note this is that this isn't a typical type of contract. This is a service contract. Unlike our construction type projects, these are one and dones, which are, I would say, simple in some regards. There are a lot of different nuances as in a service type contract. So I know Mr. Williams has the contract. He is reviewing. He's reviewing our comments that we have to that. So I'm not going to give an estimated time frame for this. You know, we want this to be right because this is a multi-year contract. So this is something that we will have to live with for several years. So we're operating now. The gates are operating. There's not the proposed cost that was part of the bid is not being implemented. So we're still at a standstill on all those current conditions and specifications. So we're working through that. I don't know if you want to add anything or not, but this has been an ordeal, to say the least. So.
Let me just add to that, because I asked this question of Andrew last week, just to confirm. So I'll say it out loud, and you said it, but I'll echo it. The fees that were charged to gated residents for that annual fee was increased based on the assumption of the contract being in place and therefore the new fees being in place.
Yes.
The fees being paid today are the current fees, not the new fees.
That's correct.
So while we are very interested in getting on the other side of this and having a successful contract and having the vendor accountable to that new contract and commensurate increase in the fees, until the contract's complete, they're being paid the old rate. So the advantage, if there is one to the residents in the gated communities, is they're not paying the increased fee until we have a completed contract. And so as time goes on, that will likely benefit those gated residents when we come up for new estimates of taxes for gated service fee next July. It's all likelihood we're going to have burned through at least half this year still having the old fee. So just want to say that out loud so people understand that a lack of a contract doesn't mean that they've gotten the new rates. We're still dealing with their old rates at this point. Questions for Andrew on that particular item? Just gives us any questions?
Nope.
Just give an update on the phase one of the pedestrian plan. We are still working with obtaining the last temporary construction easement from the club. We're bouncing back different renditions, comments, and changes that way. I know Mr. Williams has had conversations as of early today with their legal counsel. We're just anticipating a time when agreements can be signed. This is no fault of our own to this, but when you're asking something from someone, they have to agree to do that, so.
Unlike Allied, where we're dealing with sort of that single entity, we're dealing with the structure and those who understand corporate structures and complexities. We're dealing with a very large corporation here with Invited and Club Corp and that whole entire structure. So this process takes time as well because you're working through navigating that entire corporate structure, legal structure, et cetera. They're trying to protect their interests as we are as well.
See, Mr. Mayor, in my conversations this morning with counsel for Invite, I guess, he was saying there are some internal restraints they have right now as to what action they can take and when they can take it. We're working through some of the nuances of the contract, but they also have some timeline issues on their part that we can't control at all.
So one of the things, and I don't mean to put you on the spot, but one of the things that we may need to start talking about is if this starts to linger, are we able to start phase one? Just a question. Are we able to start phase one, or are we at risk in doing so? So we really are being held up by this until we get on the other side of it. There's nothing locally we can do. This is not about the local club or anything like that.
And then the time frame, the restraint I was hearing today was more just like a November. We need to get through November, and then we're good. So I don't want to jinx this, but I think if we get past the end of this month, then they will not have their internal restraints they're facing.
And really, the holdup, until the town has complete access to the property that we need to do the work in to be able to apply for the erosion control, we can't even get those first initial permits to even start that work, to be able to put it out to bid, to get costs and things of that nature.
So we have to have, the erosion control has to encompass the entire phase one, which means all of Bermuda Drive, one drive, and then part of Riverbend. So even if logically you think, well, can I not start at the end and we'll get it worked out before we get to the club's property? The answer is no. Erosion control encompasses the entire scope. Thank you for, I did not realize that. Thank you.
So where does their club property start?
Say that again.
Where does their club property start? Is it right past the mailbox?
It's all the way down, I guess, number 10.
Turn to Riverbend, almost down to Ray's house.
All the way down.
Charlie's there.
All the way down?
Oh, well, number
four-
10 goes all the way down to Ray's house. so-
4 temporary construction easements we're trying to acquire, and 2 permanent easements. The focus of this is on the temporary construction easements.
This is essentially the number 10 fairway.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
runs clear up to where the package room is on that
So
left side.
10 is one area, and then where this drainage area was another issue there. A drop yard, like a storage place, which is, what is that, fescue that cuts through near the Freshwater's house, that area. And then I believe 2 more, one near Spyglass, and
One on the backside of
the other,
Riverbend.
that's, yeah, near George Webb's house, I believe. So, and so the way we're going at the easement is for all of those. We're not asking for one little leg of it, because these will hit all the phases of the project. So go ahead and get it so we don't run into this later on issue.
That's smart.
Just an update on the Ivy Circle stormwater project. We're after several months of negotiation, conversations back and forth, we're at an impasse with property owner. And it really looks as though that this isn't going to happen. As the, just like the Riverbend stormwater project, this Ivy Circle was also part of that funding. There's a shot clock on that funding to be spent. So if you recall with council, when we were talking about these stormwater projects some months ago, we had a list of stormwater projects. So we're going to move to the next project in line to do that. So it's a little bit of work for us to submit back to the state a budget identifying a project, but we're at an impasse that I do not think that we're going to be able to overcome. So we'll disappointed, to say the least, but we'll move on to the next project and try to address those issues. So,
Is there any alternatives to the original design?
we have looked at multiple ways to do this.
And
So, and last, Mr. Mayor, and I have talked to council in previous meetings, our speed table work. We are trying to get, we're waiting for our cost to analyze the cost for those. This will be another type of project that is sensitive to the weather. This is a little bit different from a paving contract or larger road maintenance project. So we're hoping to get this started soon, to start possibly by the end of the month to get those in. So signage goes along with that, but if you recall, these speed tables were part of the overall pedestrian project, but we've seen this as an opportunity to go ahead and pull those from that overall project and be able to start to make an impact for safety type purposes now.
So just for context, so phase one of the Blue Heron, phase one of the pedestrian pathway is Bermuda Run Drive and then down essentially to where the cart path is just past the Anders house. That's phase one. Phase two takes you from there, clear around, all the way to the backside past Rotunda and on around. That's phase two. Phase three takes you from that point around Spyglass area, and then from there, phase four becomes the final segment. The goal is, we know that there's a bit of a runway to get the pathway in for all these phases. The goal is to put in the speed tables where they were designed to be in anyway, and go ahead and move those up and put the speed tables in that represent both phase one and phase two of that pathway. So even though the pathway isn't there, speed tables and signage will be, and the goal being to try to accelerate some of that traffic calming, if you will, in those areas. So the goal, I think, is to complete the speed tables for both phase one and phase two and stop at that point.
That's correct.
Andrew, could you take, because we've got a pretty big audience here tonight, would you explain to everyone what a speed table is? Because this is one thing that's been on people's minds because of speeding through the neighborhoods. And explain to them what a speed table is versus what it used to be called speed bumps.
Right, yeah, so I think we're all pretty familiar with what a speed hump is, you know, just a half kind of dome piece of asphalt, not a lot of warning in most cases. But when you hit it, you know you've hit something, right?
Sponsored by your local shock company.
That's correct, that's correct. A speed table is wider, right? Typically 5 feet, 6 feet, but it's there with a flat area on top. In some cases with what we're installing, an actual pedestrian crossing will be part of that speed table. But it's a gentler slope as you go up to the top, like a table, and then back down. So it's spread out wider and more visible to a motorist as you're traveling along the travelway right there.
For the audience, if you ever go through Tanglewood Park, that's pretty much what they have. They have those speed tables where it doesn't, you don't need a mouthpiece when you go over.
Unlike Twins Way, which
Right.
needs a mouthpiece.
Right.
There's a difference. Any other questions? Thank you. Again, thank you everyone for attending tonight. Thank you again to the ladies for presenting today, Women's Auxiliary. I also want to congratulate Rod Guthrie, Marty Wilson, and Dylan Hines for their election wins and joining our town council next month. At our December 9th town council meeting, we will be saying thank you and farewell to Councilmember Ernst and Councilmember Schaefer. In that meeting, we will also have the new elected council members. Council-elect will be taking the oath of office. We'll have Judge Lori Hamilton joining us that evening, who will administer the oath. And then followed by that, We'll have our new council members seated. So I encourage you to please join us on December 9th for what we call our organizational meeting. Last week, Councilmember Nelson and I had the opportunity to meet with all of the third graders at Shady Grove Elementary, about 75 students in total. Each year, the third graders study local government, and I was asked to come speak, as I am each year, and invited Councilmember Nelson to join me. And so given her role and her previous experience in working at the White House, which I told the students as well, and they were in awe, the bright light shifted from me to former attendee of the White House, and it never came back. It was just, I lost it the rest of the No, it was wonderful. But I've asked Ray to just say a few words about that as well.
Yeah, a great experience. How many of you, do you have any connections with Shady Grove Elementary? Have you been there, kids, grandkids? I see a couple head shaking. Anyway, it's about 4 miles down the road, Cornetza Road. It's a great, great school. They've won a 2024-2025 Academic Excellence Award. They have a number of students who lived here in Bermuda Run. And they, as the mayor mentioned, they study state and local government in elementary school. The third graders study local government. The fourth graders go to Raleigh to get a hands-on experience in state government. So very, very knowledgeable. They were so enthusiastic. They sat there the whole time, raising their hands, asking questions. It was so inspiring. And they asked some really good questions. So just to give you a couple of examples, in addition to what does the mayor do? What's it like to be mayor? One asked, how much money do you normally get from taxes? So that was kind of interesting. They asked, how do you know what and where to build something? One student asked, how many companies do you have contracts with at the same time? And then one creative student said, can you design a really fun law just for us? And we thought a little bit about it, and then I was thinking that would be a great classroom activity, just to be able to sit down with them and to develop a fun classroom activity, law just for them. But very, very smart, intelligent. And then the mayor wrote a very thoughtful thank you note to them, and he thanked them and invited the parents and students to come visit us. And then he ended the thank you note with, remember to keep dreaming. With dedication and teamwork, your dream might just become reality. And I just got to say, I was truly inspired by these third graders at Bermuda Run, inspired to dream even greater. And so thank you for including me, and can't wait to see what these students do, because it was quite extraordinary.
I was thankful that I did not get this year the question I got last year, which was, and I'll phrase it the right way, how old are you? That was called the humbling part of the program, so just so you know. No, thank you for that wonderful opportunity, and just the bright eyes and the minds and the interest. It was well worth it, and enjoy going back each year. In case you forgot, next week is Thanksgiving. If you've forgotten, you'll need to get that turkey pretty quickly. Food Lion has them on for $1 a pound. So, anyway, but regardless, whether you're staying local or whether you're traveling, I do wish all of you a safe and happy Thanksgiving. Those are the end of my remarks. Let me turn it over to council, see if there's any comments from council.
Now, for me, I mean, thank you, Mike and Christy, for your service. So thank you for what you guys did, and for Marty and Dylan, welcome aboard. So thank you, guys.
I'd like to just congratulate Marty and Dylan and Rod, and I look forward to sitting back there and watching you all. It'll be a great time. I hope you will enjoy it as much as I have, and as much time as that I have spent with this town. I hope you all will be long haulers here too.
Yeah,
I'd like to also say, Linda, Sue, great presentation. Wonderful, wonderful. And then I just want to say to the staff, your packets tonight, thank you for the simplicity and thoroughness of our packets.
if for the ones going off as Christy and me, after the next meeting, the organization meeting, as you call it, and we will get to have some closing comments if we choose to do so.
I encourage you, yes.
Encourage us to do. And after that meeting, you can join Christy and me over at Davy Tavern to have a celebration of beverage of choice. So, and it's been enjoyable. We'll talk about that at the next meeting. Thanks to the ladies. Y'all had a fabulous presentation. That was very well done, and y'all got a great organization, and I live it and see it every day of the week. So, and y'all work very hard at it. I can actually say you really give it your best. Thank you.
Anything else?
I move to adjourn.
Have a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Any discussion? Otherwise, with a show of hands, those in favor? 4-0, we're adjourned. Again, thank you all very much.